The Massachusetts State Quarter, issued in 2000 by the United States Mint, is part of the celebrated 50 State Quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. Each coin in this series honors a U.S. state in the order it joined the Union, and Massachusetts, admitted in 1788 as the sixth state, is represented with pride and historical symbolism. The obverse front of the coin bears the familiar portrait of George Washington, the first President of the United States, designed by John Flanagan in 1932. Around his likeness are the inscriptions United States of America, Liberty, In God We Trust, and the coin's denomination, quarter dollar. The small letter D beneath In God We Trust indicates that this particular coin was minted at the Denver Mint in Colorado. Turning to the reverse, back, side, the Massachusetts quarter beautifully captures the state's historical essence and patriotic spirit. The central image features a Minuteman, a colonial soldier ready to defend the colony during the American Revolution, inspired by the iconic statue that stands at the Minuteman National Historical Park in Concord. Behind the figure is a simplified outline of the state of Massachusetts, emphasizing its geographical identity. To the left of the Minuteman is a small five-pointed star, marking the capital city, Boston. The inscriptions read Massachusetts, 1788, 2000, and the Bay State, which is the official nickname of Massachusetts. At the bottom, the traditional U.S. motto, E pluribus unum, meaning out of many one, reinforces the unity of the states within the nation. The coin's composition is a copper-nickel clad, consisting of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core, giving it a silvery appearance with a reddish edge. It measures 24.26 millimeters in diameter, weighs 5.67 grams, and has a reeded edge grooved. More than 1.16 billion Massachusetts quarters were minted in total, making it one of the more common issues in the series, yet still treasured by collectors for its elegant design and historical significance. Symbolically, the Massachusetts quarter tells a story of independence, readiness, and identity. The Minuteman figure honors the courage of ordinary citizens who stood against oppression during the American Revolution, embodying the spirit of freedom that defined both Massachusetts and the early United States. The map backdrop reminds viewers of the state's place in shaping American history, from the Pilgrims' landing at Plymouth Rock to the Boston Tea Party and the birth of American liberty. The Bay State nickname itself comes from Massachusetts Bay, a central feature in the state's colonial geography and early economy. Overall, the 2000 Massachusetts quarter is more than a simple piece of currency. It's a miniature work of art and a tangible link to America's past. Whether kept in a collection, found in circulation, or passed down through generations, it continues to represent the enduring ideals of freedom, unity, and historical pride that define both Massachusetts and the United States as a whole. The next top. The New York State Quarter, issued in 2001, is part of the 50 State Quarters program, a special coin series launched by the United States Mint to honor each of the 50 states in the order that they ratified the Constitution or were admitted to the Union. New York, which became the 11th state on July 26, 1788, was celebrated with a coin design that reflects its rich history, cultural importance, and role as a gateway for millions of immigrants arriving in America. The obverse front side of the quarter bears the standard portrait of George Washington, originally designed by sculptor John Flanagan in 1932. Surrounding Washington's bust are the inscriptions United States of America, Liberty, In God We Trust, and the denomination quarter dollar. The P mint mark located to the right of Washington's ponytail signifies that this particular coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint in 2001. The reverse back side of the coin was designed by T. James Farrell, inspired by artwork chosen through a statewide design competition. It beautifully captures the spirit of New York as the gateway to freedom. The focal point of the design is the Statue of Liberty, a universal symbol of democracy, freedom, and hope. Behind her, an outline of New York State is shown, with a line tracing the route of the Hudson River and Erie Canal, two vital waterways that helped make New York a center of commerce and transportation in early America. Superimposed across the state outline are 11 stars, representing New York's place as the 11th state to join the Union. The words "Gateway to Freedom" appear to the right of the Statue of Liberty, emphasizing the state's role as the first glimpse of America for millions of immigrants who passed through Ellis Island in New York Harbor. The inscription "E pluribus unum," meaning "out of many, one." The traditional motto of the United States appears along the lower edge, reminding viewers that America's strength lies in its diversity and unity. The 2001 New York quarter is composed of a copper, nickel-clad metal, 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, over a pure copper core, weighing 5.67 grams and measuring 24.26 millimeters in diameter. More than 1.27 billion New York quarters were minted across all U.S. mint locations, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, making it a widely circulated coin rather than a rare collector's piece, though pristine, uncirculated, or proof versions are valuable to numismatists. The proof coins, especially those struck in 90% silver, were produced for collectors by the San Francisco Mint and are distinguished by their deep mirror-like finish and sharp details. Symbolically, the New York quarter tells a story that spans centuries. The year 1788 marks the state's founding, while 2001 marks the coin's issue date, connecting the revolutionary beginnings of the United States to the modern era. The design's timing also holds emotional weight, as the coin was released only months before the September 11, 2001 attacks, which profoundly affected New York and the nation. Many collectors and historians view the Gateway to Freedom theme as even more meaningful after that tragic event, symbolizing endurance, unity, and hope in the face of adversity. In terms of artistry and symbolism, the New York quarter remains one of the most admired designs in the 50-state quarter series. It merges geography, history, and ideals into a compact form that fits in the palm of one's hand, an everyday piece of change that carries layers of meaning about the American identity. Whether found in pocket change or displayed in a collector's album, the 2001 New York Gateway to Freedom quarter stands as a small but powerful reminder of America's history, diversity, and the unbroken promise of liberty, the next top. The United States quarter dollar you're referring to marked 1789 to 2006 with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," "E pluribus unum," and "North Dakota," is part of the 50-state quarters program, one of the most popular and widely collected coin series in U.S. history. The P. Mint mark indicates that the coin was minted at the Philadelphia Mint in 2006. The dates 1789 to 2006 commemorate North Dakota's statehood timeline. 1789 represents the year of the U.S. Constitution's adoption, signifying the nation's founding, while 1889, North Dakota's actual year of statehood, is symbolically connected to the 50-state quarters timeline, culminating in 2006 for North Dakota's release. Each state quarter was issued to celebrate a state's unique heritage, culture, and history. The North Dakota quarter was the 39th coin released in this series and was officially issued on August 28, 2006. The obverse front of the coin features the familiar portrait of George Washington, the first president of the United States, originally sculpted by John Flanagan in 1932 and later modified slightly by sculptor William Cousins for the 50-state quarters series. Surrounding Washington's profile are the inscriptions, "United States of America, Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the denomination quarter dollar. These inscriptions reflect the ideals of American democracy, liberty, faith, unity, and national identity, values that have been central to U.S. coinage since the founding of the nation. The reverse back of the 2006 North Dakota quarter features a striking natural scene symbolizing the state's unspoiled landscape and agricultural heritage. The design shows two American bison grazing on the Great Plains, set against a backdrop of rugged badlands terrain typical of western North Dakota. The imagery captures both the state's natural beauty and its ecological past, when vast herds of bison once roamed freely across the plains before the expansion of settlement in the 19th century. The design was created by sculptor-engraver Donna Weaver and is celebrated for its realistic detail and composition. The words "North Dakota" and 1889 appear above the scene, signifying the state's name and its admission to the Union as the 39th state on November 2, 1889. The Latin phrase e pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, appears below the design, a long-standing motto of the United States symbolizing unity among diverse states and peoples. From a numismatic perspective, the North Dakota quarter was minted in large quantities, making it common in circulation but still highly collectible as part of the full 50-state quarter set. The Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 305 million of these coins, while the Denver Mint, marked D, produced about 359 million. There were also special collector versions struck in both proof and silver-proof finishes at the San Francisco Mint, S. While circulated examples are worth only face value, 25 cents, uncirculated or proof specimens can hold modest collectible value, especially in pristine condition or as part of a complete set. The symbolism of the North Dakota quarter goes deeper than its design. The American bison represents strength, endurance, and the frontier spirit, qualities deeply embedded in the state's culture and identity. The Badlands background reflects the rugged and resilient landscape shaped by centuries of wind and erosion, serving as a metaphor for the perseverance of the people who inhabit this region. Together, the elements highlight the coexistence of nature and human history, reminding Americans of the country's vast natural heritage and the importance of preserving it for future generations. The 50-State Quarters program, launched in 1999 by the U.S. Mint under the 50 States Commemorative Coin Program Act, was one of the most successful coinage initiatives in American history, bringing millions of new collectors, especially children and families, into the hobby. Each year, 5 different state quarters were released in the order in which the states joined the Union. The North Dakota quarter was part of the 2006 group, along with Nevada, Nebraska, Colorado, and South Dakota. The program concluded in 2008, later followed by additional series such as the D.C. and U.S. Territories Quarters, 2009, and the America the Beautiful Quarters, 2010 to 2021. In summary, the 2006 North Dakota Quarter, P Mint, is far more than a small piece of metal. It is a miniature work of art and history, capturing the essence of a state known for its vast prairies, wildlife, and pioneering spirit. Its inscriptions, Liberty, In God We Trust, E Pluribus Unum, and North Dakota, reflect the enduring ideals of the United States: freedom, faith, unity, and pride in the land. Though millions were minted for everyday use, each coin tells a story of America's landscapes and people, connecting modern citizens with the nation's founding principles and the natural beauty that continues to define its states. The next top. The United States quarter dollar, a coin worth 25 cents, has been an enduring emblem of the nation's culture, economy, and artistry since its introduction in the late 18th century. The specific piece you mention, the 2007 P. Wyoming quarter, belongs to the celebrated 50-State Quarters program, an ambitious series issued by the U.S. Mint from 1999 to 2008 to honor each of the 50 states. The reference to 1890 on the coin denotes the year Wyoming entered the Union as the 44th state, while 2007 indicates its year of issue. The P Mint mark under In God We Trust stands for the Philadelphia Mint, where the coin was struck. On the obverse front of the coin is the familiar portrait of George Washington, designed originally by John Flanagan in 1932, based on Jean-Antoine Houdon's 1786 bust. Surrounding Washington's image are the inscriptions United States of America, Liberty, In God We Trust, and the denomination quarter dollar. This obverse design has remained largely consistent across decades, with slight modifications for clarity and modernization. The reverse back of the Wyoming quarter is a strikingly minimalist, yet symbolic design that features a bucking horse and rider, a powerful image drawn from the state's license plate and long associated with Wyoming's identity as the cowboy state. This imagery, created by artist Norman E. Namath, captures Wyoming's rugged frontier heritage and deep connection to ranching, rodeo, and the open plains. Above the design is the word Wyoming and the year of statehood, 1890, while below appear the motto, the Equality State, honoring Wyoming's pioneering history as the first U.S. territory to grant women the right to vote, and the traditional Latin motto, E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, which emphasizes the unity of the states within one nation. The Wyoming Quarter was released as the 44th issue in the series, following Montana and preceding Utah, with circulation beginning on September 3, 2007. Millions were produced for everyday use, though collectors also prize special proof and uncirculated versions minted in both Philadelphia, P, and Denver, D, as well as silver proofs from San Francisco, S. The quarter's composition followed the standard clad structure introduced in 1965, an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core, giving it durability and a silvery appearance without the intrinsic metal value of earlier 90% silver coins. The phrase, "In God We Trust," adopted as the official U.S. motto in 1956, appears prominently on the obverse, symbolizing national faith and unity through generations of Americans. The other motto, E pluribus unum, first appeared on U.S. coins in 1795 and serves as a reminder of the Republic's founding principle that a multitude of states and peoples come together as one nation. The word liberty has appeared on U.S. coinage since the beginning of the mint's operations in 1792, reflecting the central ideal upon which the United States was founded. Wyoming's choice to feature the horse and rider silhouette instead of a complex scenic design made its quarter distinctive within the series. The stark outline evokes the wide-open landscapes, the independent spirit of the West, and the proud equestrian traditions that still define the state's culture. The rider represents both historical cowboys and the modern citizens who value hard work and resilience. The horse itself is said to be modeled after the legendary steamboat, a famous bronco from the early 20th century that became an enduring symbol of Wyoming pride. When examining such a coin, collectors often note fine details: the rim lettering, the clarity of the mint mark P, the crispness of Washington's hair curls, and the sharp relief of the horse's muscles. While most 2007 P Wyoming quarters are common and circulate at face value, pristine uncirculated or proof examples hold modest collector premiums. However, a few die varieties, such as double die errors or die cracks around the rider's silhouette, can be worth considerably more to numismatists. From a broader perspective, the Wyoming quarter represents more than currency. It's a miniature history lesson, a piece of educational art that ties everyday Americans to their collective past. It commemorates Wyoming's admission to the Union in 1890, celebrates its role in expanding democratic rights for women, and visually embodies the state's frontier legacy. Together with the other 49 designs in the state quarters program, it revitalized public interest in coin collecting, bringing millions of Americans into numismatics and creating a modern cultural phenomenon. In summary, the United States 2007 P Wyoming Quarter Dollar merges artistry, symbolism, and heritage into a compact metallic form. Bearing the timeless inscriptions United States of America, Liberty, In God We Trust, and E Pluribus Unum, it connects the 19th century ideals of statehood in 1890 to the 21st century celebration of American unity and diversity. Every curve of the horse's motion, every letter along its rim, tells a fragment of the nation's ongoing story, from the minting presses of Philadelphia to the pockets and collections of people across